Cramming all night is the worst thing you can do for your memory, and the spacing effect, the 140-year-old study hack your brain still ignores, proves that forgetting is actually how you learn faster. You cram because it feels like the responsible thing to do. Here's the strange part. Your brain isn't broken when it forgets. Forgetting is a feature. It's the system doing exactly what it was built to do. And one man proved it in 1885, before cars filled the streets, before most homes had electric light, before the word neuroscience even existed. He found a rule about memory so steady it has survived 140 years of testing. It's been confirmed again and again, and almost nobody actually uses it. We do the opposite every time. We cram, we reread the same page, we highlight until the whole thing glows yellow. Then we're surprised when it all drains away by the weekend. But what this man discovered flips the whole thing around. The moment you begin to forget something is not the moment you're losing it. It's the moment you should meet it again. That single idea can double how much you keep, and you were probably never taught it. So the fix was never about trying harder. It was about timing. Not more effort, smarter spacing of the effort you already give. Picture the night before a big exam. The coffee's gone cold. The same paragraph has been read 6 times. By 2 in the morning, the words stop meaning anything at all. You keep going because it feels like effort, and effort feels like progress. That's the trap. Cramming feels productive precisely because it's hard in the moment. Your eyes move. Your hand highlights, the clock burns down, but there's a quiet lie hiding inside that feeling. When you reread, the words look familiar. That familiarity tricks you into thinking you know them. Psychologists separate 2 things here. Recognition, yes, I've seen this before. And recall, I can produce this from nothing. Cramming is fantastic at building recognition. It's terrible at building recall. So the next morning the page feels familiar, and the answer still won't come. You didn't build a memory overnight. You rented one, and the loan came due at the worst possible time, and you swore again that next time you'd start early. Recognition is a trap dressed up as knowledge. You mistook the burn in your eyes for something being learned. And this isn't only about students. Look around your own life. It's the language app you opened 30 days straight, then dropped. And now, hello is all that survives. It's the presentation you rehearsed once, start to finish, the night before, and then blanked on halfway through. It's the name of the person you met 2 minutes ago, already gone before the next handshake. We treat memory like a bucket. Pour enough in at once, we assume, and surely some of it stays. But the brain isn't a bucket. Pouring faster doesn't fill it fuller. It works more like a muscle. And a muscle doesn't grow from one impossible lift. It grows from repeated strain, with recovery in between. Memory strengthens under one very specific kind of strain. The strain of almost forgetting, and then reaching for it anyway. Skip the forgetting, and you skip the very part that makes it stick. We keep blaming our memory. The problem was never the memory, it was the schedule. One long push feels heroic and leaves almost nothing behind. So let's go back to that year, 1885. A German psychologist named Hermann Ebbinghaus decided to study memory scientifically, something no one had really done before. And he had a problem. Real words carry meaning, and meaning gives you shortcuts. So he invented material with no meaning at all. Nonsense syllables. Little combinations like WID, ZUF, CAL. Deliberately empty, so no prior knowledge could give him an edge. Then he became his own laboratory. He memorized thousands of these lists, alone, over years, and he measured how quickly they slipped away. His tool was elegant. He called it the method of savings. How many repetitions did it take to relearn a list after an hour? A day? A week? What he mapped became one of the most famous curves in all of science. The forgetting curve. Memory drops steeply at first. Much of what you learn is gone within hours. Then the fall slows and levels off. Forgetting, he showed, is fast at first, then oddly patient. It was crude, lonely science, but it held up for well over a century. He had no lab, no funding, no subjects but himself. Every curve in your psychology textbook traces back to that quiet obsession. But hidden inside that same work was a discovery that mattered even more than the curve. Ebbinghaus noticed something about the spacing of his sessions. When he crammed all the repetitions together in one sitting, learning was slow and fragile. When he spread the very same repetitions across several days, something changed. He needed fewer repetitions overall to lock the list in. Read that again. Same material, same brain, less total effort and a stronger, longer memory. He had stumbled on to what we now call the spacing effect. And the numbers are not small. Cramming and spacing can use the exact same number of minutes. But spread those minutes out across days, and the memory can last twice as long, sometimes far more. The gaps between sessions weren't dead time. They weren't wasted at all. The gaps were where the real work quietly happened, while he wasn't even studying. A gap you'd swear was doing nothing was doing almost everything. That single insight is worth more than any highlighter. Now here's what raises the stakes. This isn't one lonely study from a dusty century, easy to wave away. The spacing effect is one of the most replicated findings in the entire field of psychology. It keeps showing up, in language after language, task after task, decade after decade. In 2006, a team led by the researcher Nicholas Cepeda pulled the evidence together into one enormous review. They gathered hundreds of experiments, 317 of them, and hundreds of separate comparisons of spaced against crammed learning. And the pattern held. Spacing won, again and again and again. So sit with the real question for a second. If this effect is this old, this proven, this consistent across more than a century, why does almost everyone on Earth still cram? Why is it barely taught in schools? The answer is genuinely uncomfortable. We ignore the method that works because using it feels like we're failing. So the barrier isn't knowledge. The barrier is how it feels. It survived replication when countless flashier ideas quietly died. One of the sturdiest facts we have about the human mind. Stay with that idea, because it's the whole key. The strategy that actually works feels worse while you're doing it. Here's why. When you space your learning, you come back to the material after you've already started to forget it. So it's harder. You hesitate. You blank. You have to dig for it. Meanwhile, the person cramming recognizes everything instantly and feels brilliant. But that smoothness is exactly the problem. When it's easy, nothing is being rebuilt. Psychologists even have a name for this paradox. Robert Bjork calls them desirable difficulties. Difficulties because they slow you down and make you struggle. Desirable because that very struggle is what deepens the memory. The effort of pulling a fading fact back into the light is not a sign the learning failed. That effort is the learning. Smooth and easy carves nothing. The reach is what leaves the mark. We were taught to trust the smooth feeling. That feeling lies to us. The struggle you're avoiding is the exact thing you need. And this shapes so much more than tests and textbooks. It's the skill you mastered in a weekend workshop, then couldn't perform on Monday. It's the training your company crammed into one exhausting all-day session, then measured a month later and found almost nothing left. It's the instrument you binged for a week and quietly abandoned. Massing feels efficient. It's convenient. One block on the calendar, one entry, done. But here's the trade nobody warns you about. Convenience and durability pull in opposite directions. What you gain in speed, you pay for in permanence. The fast route leaves the lightest trace. So much of what we proudly say we learned this year, we didn't really keep. We borrowed it, briefly, and handed it back. And the strange, hopeful part is that fixing this costs no extra hours. It only asks you to rearrange the hours you already spend. The cost is invisible, which is exactly why we keep paying it. Rearranged, not increased. That's the whole secret. Durable learning is boring to schedule and beautiful to keep. So here's the question that changes everything. Why would evolution build a brain that forgets so easily? It sounds like a design flaw, a bug. It's the opposite. Imagine a brain that remembered everything with equal permanent force. Every parked car, every stranger's face, every meaningless number, as vivid and loud as your own child's name. That brain wouldn't be brilliant. It would be buried, drowning in noise, unable to find what actually matters. So forgetting isn't failure. Forgetting is a filter. It quietly clears away what doesn't come back, so the things that do repeat can rise to the surface. And that's the secret hiding underneath the spacing effect. When a piece of information returns after a gap, your brain reads that return as a signal. This one keeps coming up. This one is worth the storage. Keep it. Spacing works because it speaks your brain's native language, importance, measured across time. What looks like a leaky memory is really a very smart filter. A perfect memory would be a kind of curse. Once you see that, the whole feeling of struggle flips. When you come back to something half forgotten and have to strain to recover it, you're not behind. You're not slow. You're triggering the exact signal that tells your brain, hold on to this one. The forgetting that happens between your sessions was never the enemy of learning. It's the setup for it. Each time you rebuild a fading memory, it comes back a little stronger and a little slower to fade the next time. So stop picturing memory as a bucket you're trying to fill to the brim. Picture a fire instead. You don't keep dumping all the fuel on it once. You let it burn down a little. Then you feed it. And each time, it catches faster, burns hotter, and holds longer. The dying down isn't damage. It's what makes the next flame stronger. You're not repairing something broken. You're strengthening something alive. Let it fade a little, then bring it back brighter. That's not a setback. That's the engine of remembering. The research even gives us a rough rhythm, though it's honest about the limits. Sepita's big review found something clever. The best gap between your study sessions depends on how long you need the memory to survive. Need to hold something for about a week? Space your reviews across a day or two. Need it for months or years? Stretch those gaps out into weeks. The longer you want to keep it, the wider the spaces should grow. Expanding gaps tend to beat fixed ones, in study after study. And here's the honest part. Most study tips skip. There is no single magic interval, no perfect number that works for everyone and everything. The science is still refining the details. But the direction is rock solid and clear. As a memory ages, let the gaps between reviews widen right along with it. Start close together, then slowly, deliberately drift further apart. So the rule isn't rigid, it just leans in one steady direction. Close at first, then wider and wider as it sticks. So the hack your brain has been ignoring for 140 years turns out to be almost insultingly simple. Don't study more. Study the same amount, just cut it into pieces and spread the pieces out. A little today, a little in 2 days, a little more next week, and here's the counterintuitive move. Let yourself forget a bit in between, on purpose. Then, instead of rereading, close the book and quiz yourself. Make your brain reach for the answer. Because the reaching is the entire point. You will feel slower. You will feel less certain than the person cramming beside you. Good. That discomfort isn't a warning sign. That discomfort is the physical sound of a memory being built to last. Everyone chases the feeling of knowing. The people who actually remember chase the struggle instead. To remember for life, let yourself almost forget. The people who look like they have a great memory usually just have a great schedule. Space it, test it, and let the gaps carry the load. Simple, unglamorous, and almost nobody does it. Right now, somewhere, someone is starting another all-nighter. Coffee brewing, highlighter uncapped, mistaking exhaustion for progress, the way we all were taught to. But you know something they don't now. The forgetting they're fighting so hard was never the failure. It was the instruction, all along. Spread the hours out. Come back late, after the memory has started to slip. Let the gaps do the quiet work that a German man first measured back when electric light was still a novelty. The struggle you feel returning to it isn't weakness. It's the memory setting. like concrete, a little more each time. Cramming was never the shortcut. It only felt like one. Forgetting was never failure. It was the lesson. Tomorrow, when the material starts to fade, you'll finally know what that fading really means. The all-nighter feels like devotion. It's really just waste.